Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. Across from me is my co-host, Troy Brittingham.
And across from me, in the red corner, is Jeffrey.
It's the green corner. It's green corner. It's the wrong. It's opposite.
I don't watch wrestling. It's Jeff.
And Dee's here. Thanks,
Hey, I'm here.
guys. We watched Doctor Strange 2: Multiverse
straight,
of Madness.
Dopes.
2 is not actually in the title, I think, but it's just Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, directed by my boy Sam Raimi. Fucking love Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Hey, he still got it.
He still fucking
got it, man.
And it's the most Sam Raimi it could be for a Marvel movie.
And we're going to elaborate on that in about 17 seconds.
Before that, Jeff, would you like a surprise present from me?
During our theme song? Sure, why not?
I don't see why the theme song has to be lower.
I'll wait for the theme song to be over if you're going to be picky about it. Just to put you into more suspense than you were already in.
Oh, everybody who came here for this actual movie that people might actually download is now not listening. So, what did you get him?
Well, Jeff, I walking out of the theater today, there was a guy at a stand just saying, "Hey, do you want these? These are free. Please take them. Take as many as you want."
I would have slapped him and said, "I don't like getting handed things."
I like...
He didn't hand me it. I picked it up.
For you
Garbage.
Marvelites, you 616ers out there.
Ah, it's Batman!
And
you own it. Now, that's your NFT.
Oh, that's awesome. That is actually awesome.
it is a small poster of Matt Reeves' Batman. I also have one for you if you want it. If you want the Matt Reeves Batman poster.
Yes, I will take it for the classroom.
Okay.
I will auction it off to some miscreant who likes it.
You're going to sell it to children?
I'm going to, for good grades,
I'm
going to give it to them, and then they reward me with their good grades. Mm-hmm. It's a reciprocal. It's perfectly fine. Anyway,
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. If you hung on, kudos. Thumbs up or thumbs down, internet.
Fucking thumbs up, Troy.
Thumbs up.
Well, I don't know about the fucking, but Sam Raimi, thumbs up. I mean,
Dude, I was
evil
so
hands, like two thumbs, evil
thumb and a
hands
chainsaw
in hand. Oh man, I thought they were gonna do a callback. Okay, just real little quick gush before we get into the whole thing. But I said to myself multiple times, I was like, I'm really enjoying this movie. I'm really enjoying this movie. And of course, again, sorry for any first listener, but all I heard right before this was that it's a little middling. They were like, it's a lot of exposition. You had to watch all of WandaVision, all this. And I'm like, well, I did. And they're like, well, it's a fan service-y. And
Isn't that like the
And they
norm?
talk a lot. They give a lot of exposition. It's like, and I was like worried. I was like, okay, there's a lot of talky talk. and I'm like,
Tony Hawk,
talky talk.
Do a kickflip.
Oh man, dude. And I'm like, no, it was good. I didn't want to. I knew there were dull parts, and I'm like, I could probably walk out of here. And I've done it in recent movies, like multiple times. And I was like, no, it was breezy. It was a lot of fun. It was
Dude, you guys remember when it turned into a horror movie towards the end?
It was fucking awesome.
It was sort of a horror movie for a lot of it.
It was great. It was great. There were so many cool tropes. There were so many Raimi-isms. Fucking Bruce Campbell kills it.
Bruce Campbell. Papa Pizza.
I have, unbeknownst to me and even thinking, it must have been in my subconscious, right? Because that's how good Sam Raimi is. I have been unconsciously just rewatching Burn Notice.
Oh yes.
Like I used to watch Burn Notice all the time when it was first on, and mainly because of Bruce Campbell initially, and then I was like, yeah, I like how they fucking just tag me along in the show. It's breezy. You know what? I've been to Miami since. It's fucking dope.
Yep.
So anyway, gushing about this movie because I really just felt like I was enjoying it the entire time, and that has been very different from my reaction to the Moon Knight.
Yeah,
Night of the Moon.
Not to compare this to Moon Knight.
So of course we're going against, I guess, critics now. Where
that seems to be the theme of the podcast. We seem to really hate critics.
We're not haters. We're not just contrarians. I swear.
We're the contrarian podcast. No, I'm planting my flag. No, yeah, we're
the Compod.
Yeah. And
that
also
might have other interpretations.
Yeah, I mean,
what colors are flag?
What colors are flag?
Black flag.
Black.
So we're pirates?
Yeah.
We're pirates.
Our flag means death.
Oh.
Another amazing show that you should
OTT.
watch.
You also have a pirate ship flag behind you.
Okay, this has gone on for streaming.
Yep. So Sam
Okay.
Raimi does his fucking thing and makes this movie out fucking standing. Bruce Campbell obviously has his little cameo. Wasn't even that big of a cameo. He gets the final word, the end of the credits, and he just says, "It's over."
It's brilliant.
And it's
I
fucking brilliant.
Loved it. You know what they could have done? They could have done a callback like I wanted to them.
And he
of
says
the
groovy.
Evil, of the evil hand. No, or the evil hand or something. You know, because he had fucking an
yeah,
evil
yeah.
hand, but they were already doing it. He needed to call it out. He needed to create a new classic. It's over. It's over. And I fucking love an unexpected double entendre.
Yep.
Because
It's so
that
good.
was great.
So
I
let's
love
Raimi.
one of two
Kudos,
characters
sir.
that look directly into the
Kudos,
camera in this
sir.
movie.
So this movie, we get a lot of different.
Who's the other one?
Wanda.
Wanda does, right? Because
Yes.
I did look down for a second at that point to like do, and I was like, did she do this? Okay.
No,
now-
she does do that, yes.
So she and Deadpool now realize they're in movies, right? This is the situation.
I don't-
Wanda was terrifying. Let's just give it up to her
Elizabeth
as well.
Olsen.
I really want to give it up to the Olsen.
I
The
will
other
say
Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen. My fiance has
Lizzie.
the biggest crush in the world on her, and she said
Rightly
that she would
so.
leave me for Elizabeth Olsen multiple times.
She's correct.
And then after,
I would also leave you for Elizabeth Olsen.
if you didn't, you'd be a fool. After the end of this movie, where Wanda is seemingly dead, she was like, "I have no reason to watch any more Marvel movies ever. They killed off my favorite character. I'm done. I'm washing my hands of the whole
no.
Marvel Cinematic Universe." She was like,
she's
"Fuck
a
all
live.
this."
She's a live.
Yeah, she was like,
You
"Fuck
got
all
White
this."
Vision out there.
She can't die.
I mean, she can, but like, we just proved
Yo,
there are other
I-
Wandas.
I know White Vision is an accurate statement.
We need to
what
come
it
up
is.
with a new name.
I don't
We
like
need a
saying
new
like
name.
we need more White Vision. Like this is not a good thing to say.
White
because-
anything is just a bad
and
word.
you know what? And what I thought maybe the reason people were talking about this is I did keep expecting. I'm like, oh shit, if Vision shows up, the only Vision left who happens to be white.
Yeah, that's so
So
much better.
I don't need
job,
to
bud.
explain
To save
that,
America.
right? The only Vision that's left, or the Vision from her reality, right? Like I just kept expecting like Vision to show up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think that would be crazy based on everything they were saying. But except for the fact that people were saying that like it was like you had to know too much about WandaVision, or like you had to watch Disney Plus series and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I could see if like they threw Vision in here, that you'd be like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy? Or like, what isn't he dead? Or like, what's going on here? Or like, it would be like the extra thing that would have kind of put it over. And I was like, oh, they never went there. Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I mean, I guess it's just the kids.
The kids, the fact that she's the Scarlet Witch and she has the Darkhold.
Yeah.
A lot of her like character was established at the end of WandaVision, and then they just plopped that character into this movie.
But they Vishanti and all that stuff was just plopped in, and it's I like and I guessed he was using that for Doctor Strange, like in What If maybe, but I didn't even remember that, and I followed the fucking
No,
plot.
yeah, it was weird.
I wasn't confused. There were two books. One was kind of light. One was kind of evil, and they were both dangerous. And they were both. Everybody was corrected by the shit.
Yeah,
Like,
this is a story about how you should go home and read, kids.
okay, so, no, listen. I'm gonna be real honest. Like, you guys grew up with Harry Potter way more than I did, and I have never enjoyed Harry Potter because of the. And I'm probably missing things, and I definitely can point out a couple about the rules of magic. And that, and I'm sorry, I should lead with that. Like, the rules of magic is my point. Is that like the rules of magic usually that don't exist.
Oh, there aren't any yet.
in Harry Potter, like, or they just ignore it throughout it. Like, it takes me out of it, and I don't know why Strange's magic doesn't. Maybe it's because they generally limit it to just like this very specific visual where you can see like the magic is breaking and it is weaker, and you know that like soon it will break. And I loved how he like in the first scene he like grabbed all the rocks and stuff and like chained it within it, but it was still breaking free, and he's like, I can't do anymore. Like, he's limited. They're really showing like things he can do, and then they kind of surprise you with a thing. So I don't know why I'm biased to this variation of it.
I think for me, because I've thought about this too, I think for me, one of the things that strange magic has over a lot of magic is that it's very like physical, and there's like a lot of different stuff. where like they pick a style and then they go with it, where like a lot of other magic stuff is just a big beam fight where they just push beams and the guy goes and tries to push a little bit more.
Like the Harry Potter battles kind of devolve into just that, right? Like no one uses magic anymore.
There's like one fight in 5 where like Voldemort makes like a big snake and then throws it
and I feel like they're always showing the limitations. Like the music note fight, he's just like using things.
That was an awesome
the music
scene.
note fight's fucking dope.
Oh, like there were like I was very surprised throughout the movie. It was breezy. Like come on, like it's been a while since I saw like a 2-hour Marvel movie and was like, this is
You don't want to watch Eternals again?
Fuck Eternals, man.
Do you know that I shit you not? I've been meaning to tell you this, guys. If Little D is being and he's not going to bed, I'm like, that's it. We're watching Eternals. No! It puts him out in a second. It is so boring. It is so boring. Not even like. Oh, forget it. Like, they hit that. Oh, he's going to fucking hate Pink Floyd. But, because he gets to, like, the beginning of the time thing. He's just going to be like, I fucking hate it.
That's awesome.
Despise Pink Floyd. He's going to have, like, a weird vendetta against him. That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make to put him to sleep.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It is. He he's like, not Eternals. Not Eternals. I'm like, you're watching Eternals.
If you're a bad boy, we punish you with the Eternals.
Oh, it never ends. He's like, I don't want to I want to be away. Anyway,
I was gonna make more jokes about Eternals. I legitimately can't tell you a thing that happens in Eternals. I watched it less than a year ago.
I know what didn't happen. I know that he basically
Cameo Nanjiani
completely like he got huge, and there was no like trademark shirtless male scene in that movie, and I was like, why?
And he's the best one in it. Like
yes, he and his assistant are works. That's the only life anima that's in the movie, and I loved it. But I felt like he should have got a shirtless scene. He really worked for it. But maybe I don't know. Maybe he said no. Anyway, back to this. Should we get to the recap?
Yeah. So it opens with Defender Strange protecting a young girl from an interdimensional demon as they're trying to get to this book, the book of whatever the fuck.
And he spoke Spanish, right?
Yes. They spoke Spanish at each other.
So do you think that, did you get the impression that he just spoke Spanish or that his first language was Spanish?
Good question. I don't know.
I would probably say he spoke it.
Because I need to warn everyone that I have a working theory that America Chavez, this character, I know is an existing character in the comics, but I also think was maybe chosen because of the fact that her name is America, and there was a lot of talk about.
You thought it was like a heavy-handed metaphor.
No, I didn't actually think about it too much until later, because I just put. But when they kept saying it alive, like you want to sacrifice America to win? I was like, and then they were like, no, the answer isn't to sacrifice America. And I'm like, and then it's like, what we need, what America needs to do is believe in itself. And this is literally.
Yeah.
They shipped a copy of this movie off to Joe Biden.
And I was like, I don't hate this or dislike this in any regard. I thought it was fine. I thought it was not what probably anybody else was thinking at the time. And that's why I wanted to throw it to you guys.
It was pretty hard not to when they call her America over and over and over. I was like, the only thing I could think of was America, the country, obviously. And I was like, well, this seems a little heavy-handed. And I have no knowledge of America Chavez in the comics, so I just thought it was like a name that Raimi had made up or something. And I was like, all right, this feels...
No, she's a slightly newer character, probably in the last 10, 15 years.
I'm going to fake knowledge of this, but if I'm going to go by a vague memory, and I could be getting it wrong, so please write in and tell us if we are. But
America Chavez first appearance in 2011.
She had like a big role, kind of like this at first, and then like clearly she's OP. So every subsequent story kind of put her and her personality in the background, and like some writers have kind of taken it up and done well. I think that's what I remember hearing from. I'm going to give a shout out to Comics Explained. Has anyone else seen that? A great.
I've
podcast.
seen it every now and then.
I really do say that guy's amazing. You should totally subscribe to that because that's well worth it. I think that was her, but I'm uncertain. So if I'm getting that wrong, I'm mixing up the character.
Yeah, I know that she's sort of in the group of the new Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, America Chavez are sort of the new sort of front runners of a lot of stuff. And
they replaced Firestar with America Chavez with a big star.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
And she is pretty far and beyond, from what I know, the most powerful of sort of the new characters.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, because she can literally just open holes in the universes and travel at will.
And this is another thing that I've been kind of looking at. I was like, I didn't know. I don't know what to do with these, like, impossibly powerful characters. But I gotta say that something about this movie and the way it was portrayed, even more than the first Doctor Strange and the way Doctor Strange has been portrayed, I really do think Raimi latched onto something here. And I'm surprised that people thought it was like, oh, it was okay, Raimi. I'm like, dude,
these
this
are
is premier Raimi.
These are
like,
three hard characters to write for.
This is good. Like, I really enjoyed this. This was really fun. If you have ever watched Evil Dead, if you've ever watched like old school Raimi, like this is great. It's great stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in this, and I don't know. Anyway, I'm throwing out there that America Chavez could, you can't not. You could not read into it, but I think it's there for a reason.
You very well could.
Anyway, so America Chavez, and by the way, the reason I brought it up because whether he was Spanish speaking was like, so some Spanish speaking was trying to save America.
Well,
but
sure.
that gets up.
But they also later on when they're sitting there in the diner in Universe 616,
also tried to.
She tries to
scratch that.
Yeah, she tries to speak Spanish at Strange, and he's just like, "What?" And then Wong replies in Spanish, and then he's just like, "Yeah, he doesn't speak Spanish." It's like, "Oh, okay, neat." But anyway, he has Defender Strange is trying to save America Chavez from this demon, and then he realizes the only way to save her is to take her powers so the demon doesn't get him. But that doesn't work because the demon ends up getting Strange and killing him, and then in her fear, America opens a portal and just runs away to Earth 616.
Doctor Strange dies a lot.
I mean, yeah, but
we've
he's
seen a
also...
lot of Doctor Strange deaths. I think they told Benedict Cumberbatch when he took the role, they're like, we're gonna kill you a lot. You're gonna do a lot.
Every movie you're in,
like, and he's Shakespearean trained, right, or Juilliard or something. Wait, that's the wrong one.
He's a big theater guy.
He's classically trained in theater.
So I'm sure he's just like, I want 1,000 death scenes. All right, Mr. Cumberbatch, you got it, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then on Earth 616, in the meantime...
Which they got out again.
Yeah, they did. Strange goes to the wedding of his ex-fiancée, Christine, and he's pretending to be happy for her, and he's just doing his thing. And then during the reception, there's an octopus demon that attacks the New York, and Strange goes down to fight it. Wong shows up to help fight it, and it turns out America's in the middle of that, and she's like getting torn apart by this like tentacle monster. And Strange saves her, and he's just like, "What the fuck? Who are you?"
And I've heard people. So this big tentacle monster thing, I know people were saying that it was not a character named Shumagarath, which is kind of a big Doctor Strange thing that looks just like this. Apparently, there's another one that looks like this.
It makes sense because they kind of explain later on. I think that like she's just sending kind of demons from other
right.
Like,
they explain the
so they didn't want to like.
I don't think they're ever going to do a Shumagarath movie, maybe.
No, I think the reason is that they're just like. We want to leave that as a possibility.
Maybe.
So this is not that. This is just some random demon that we had that looks cool.
Especially with Clea showing up at the very end of the movie, they want to leave that door open. But America explains the demons have been hunting her because she has the power to travel through the multiverse, and they want her power. And he's just like, "You were in my dream doing that," and she was like, "That wasn't a dream. That was another universe, and that's
this is real."
And that Steven was very real, and he's dead on the rooftop of this.
Don't go to your happy place. I love that was called back.
The corpse of Stephen Strange, yeah.
I gotta be. This is one of the things where I'm like, I don't know if Raimi like tricked me or if I'm an idiot or whatever, but I'm like, how did I not see that as a callback? I just wasn't paying attention. I got lulled into a sleep for this movie because I just was in the I feel like my entire version of this movie is biased because I was really open to it. I was really like just watching it. But it really did. I checked myself like 4 times in this movie. It was like, I'm enjoying this.
Oh, no. At the very, very beginning of the movie, like, the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie, they just kind of, like, pick up and they just go with plot and they just go, which is, like, sort of the opposite of what Spider-Man was, where it took a while to get to, like, multiple universe stuff.
Right.
And at first, I was like, this is going a little too fast. But then, like, maybe 45 minutes in the movie or something like that, I was like, oh, I totally forgot that I was, like, somewhat criticizing this movie. Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was breezy. Like I said, like they keep. It just kept flowing. It's like, see, guys, you can do it in 2 hours if you're a fucking pro.
In hindsight,
if you're a fucking pro.
In hindsight, it actually kind of made it better because I was just like, oh yeah, here's the premise, and we're going. We just can just do the cool stuff. I
just feel like some people aren't saying that, and I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I when it's good, it's good, and this was good, and it was breezy, and it was fine. It was fine, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, maybe if you see this from, like, you didn't watch WandaVision, are you fucking lost? I get that maybe, but I have a hard time. We covered that during COVID, so it was all I was doing.
And everybody was talking about WandaVision.
Yeah. The entire fucking universe was enraptured by WandaVision because it was, like, the first Marvel thing to come out since COVID. Yeah, everyone was like, oh, Mephisto! And it's like, no, shut up. You're all fucking stupid.
Fisto.
Hey.
Kit Fisto, the Jedi.
Kit Fisto.
Yes.
Yeah.
I meant to say Fisto. Yeah, tell me about the story of this movie.
Yeah. So, Strange is like, oh, well, this was clearly witchcraft. Let me go talk to the only witch I know. So he goes and finds Wanda, and they're chatting.
And it turns into a nice buddy cop comedy with Wanda and Strange.
This is where it first turns dark.
Yeah, this is where it first turns dark.
Because they got to Wanda real quick, and I was like, cool. And I was like, I feel like a lot of other Marvel movies, like, take, like, another 10, 15 minutes to get there. And I'm like, I love a professional knows when to cut. So he goes there, and he's like, it's super nice, right? Like,
it's this beautiful orchard of, like, cherry blossom trees. She's pruning them, and he makes a quip like, I was gonna say it smells real, and she was like, oh, it's all very real, ha ha ha. And they're chatting, and he's like, oh, I've got this girl at a Carmitage, and she can travel through the multiverse. I need your help taking down these demons that are after her. And she was like, why don't you just bring America here, and I can protect her. And then they both stop, and she was like, you didn't tell me her name, did you? And he was like, nope.
First time ever that got by me. I was like...
It didn't get by me. I was like, wait, is that just an oversight? And then they brought it back, and
it totally got by me.
Yep.
I thought he had just said it.
And then she's like, well, the jig is up, and she drops the hex, and you see it's not an orchard, it's a dead field of tree corpses, and
I thought this was over the top, and I thought this was going to get stupid, but then I was like, he explained that, like, oh, it sucks. Like,
it corrupts everything around it.
Yeah, it's revealed
and then I was like, dope, this looks cool.
Yeah, it's revealed that she has the Darkhold with her. She is the Scarlet Witch, full costume in red, and she says, I was the one doing those things, and I have the Darkhold here. Strange identifies it immediately, because he was the Sorcerer Supreme. He knows what the Darkhold is. It's this book of ancient, forbidden, evil magic, and it takes a toll on the universe it's in and the person who reads it, as we get explained, and that's why the field she's in is just completely fucking dead.
And from this point on, Wanda's just the bad guy. There's not just a twist where it's just like, oh, there's somebody behind the scenes doing this, that.
I was totally sold on the fact that was not the case, even though originally when I had heard of this movie and she was in it, I was like, oh, she's the bad guy. Mm-hmm. I was totally sold on the fact that this was going to be a twist or a turn at the end, or like someone else is the villain and she'll be possessed by something. And nope, just Wanda. Awesome.
I had no idea it was Wanda. I was so happy.
Mm-hmm. Best thing that's happened to Marvel. They made her a legitimate villain.
Yep.
She's real. She's fucking scary.
She's got actual motivations.
Believable. She's definitely not dead.
Like, no.
Like, you don't kill the thing with an ancient old statue in Mount Wundagore, who once they noted
Wundagore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonder Bread.
I had a problem hearing it. I was asking for a clarification.
I thought it's Wundagore.
I have no idea.
I think
it got said like twice.
Wundagore.
Wunderbar.
Apparently, it's big with the Darkhold, but I swear I've heard Wundagore outside of that, like like Wanda and Pietro and Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which is a dumb name to call yourself, hold up there. But I could be wrong on that. Or it was like the Wendigo was in Wondigore, but I'm probably wrong on that too. But either way, I remembered it. I did there's probably a link to that, but yeah, she seems scary. She's the best villain I've seen in a while.
Since Thanos, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm not saying make her a villain because she does have a.
She levels out a little at the end.
Levels out at the end. She knows it's a good story, and it's different from other Marvel movies.
Yep.
And it did the same thing that Doctor Strange, the first one, did, which is it was different from other Marvel movies. It was surprisingly good, and this took it up like another level, and with an auteur director, like
yeah, this was fucking amazing.
Cool, man.
But after Wanda drops the act, Strange is just like, all right, so you're clearly the bad guy. I just told you where she is and what we're doing, and I'm just gonna go. Bye.
Yeah, Strange reads the script and goes, "Oh shit."
Yeah, so he goes back to Carmitage, and America even pointed out, and she was like, "You just told the lady who's after me exactly where I am and who I'm with," and he was like, "Yeah, I did," and she's just like, "Great." Like, what the fuck, man?
You know what's another thing that I'm noticing
you
just
know what
now?
Wu-Tang always said? Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
Bring the ruckus.
Which is exactly what Wong instructs everyone at Carmitage to do. He's like, stop
Wong,
training immediately.
I love Wong in this movie.
Wong is pretty
Wong is
fucking
the
boss.
I love
shit.
Wong and everything. I was convinced immediately in this movie. I'm like, well, Wong's dead.
I thought Wong had
Wong-
died like twice,
No,
and then
it's
he
fine.
still managed to come back.
I knew he wasn't. If you don't see the body, you ain't dead. But they did a great job of selling those things. And like when he flipped the thing, I felt it. They gave him a good scene. They gave him a number of scenes. It wasn't a token scene. They built him up throughout, gave him a bigger scene. Like it. I should have to say this. Like they just did it correct. Like it's just you don't see the storytelling. You're just in the story. You're not like, oh, here's this big scene where he says like. You just watch it like he felt real.
Yeah, Wong's not just like the sidekick. He's like a pretty solid, cool character.
And they sell the entire joke the entire time. It's tradition, and they sold that into the narrative, into the themes. This is what I'm talking about. Everything else, where I'm just like, thematic storytelling is okay. Like selling things off and like making sure the world is like makes sense is kind of why we tell stories.
Yeah.
Like
but
to make it all make sense. So like I hate it.
The other thing that I was gonna,
and this is called the multiverse of madness, and I'm saying it made sense. Okay, so like just for
take that into consideration, y'all.
But the other thing that I was gonna say that I'm just noticing now, kind of, is this is one of the only. This might be the only Marvel movie that doesn't have this problem to some extent. I don't think that they really like undercut any serious kind of scary or sad moments, but with like big jokes this time.
No, they
like,
didn't.
The closest they came to it is at the very end. Wong turns to Strange and goes, "I don't even want to know." Like
that was great. And there was one other one on the same exact note of that. You're 100% right on this. That I was trying to think of it because it's early on. It's when he meets Mordo.
Yeah.
He goes, Cumberbatch's reaction to something, just great.
Yeah,
great. Something like that.
He says Mordo was my brother and we've trained together, and she was like, "Oh, great." And then he turned on me and thinks that I'm the worst thing ever and wanted to kill me. And then America's like, "Oh, great." And I'm just like, that's
it's
perfect.
not that I'm thinking of, but,
no?
but awesome. No, it's like he meets him and whatever. It's like he has the different either way. I can't think of the exact one because we're literally all coming back from 3 different showings, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, something that we don't normally do.
4 o'clock, and 4:30.
Yeah.
Right? Wait, IMAX 3D.
I was standard this time.
I was standard.
Standard. That makes sense.
I was working around my fiance's work schedule.
I do not. I am not an advocate of those things. I went for that one because I was. Like,
I wanted IMAX and it wasn't close to me, and
I wanted IMAX too. Yeah.
But either way,
I'll probably watch it again on IMAX.
Did you guys see Avatar trailers?
Yes,
I did. Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering if that was only IMAX because James Cameron.
No.
Or not? Okay.
So I saw Avatar 2, and Red was like, "Oh, you guys are we definitely are going to go see Avatar 2, right?" And I was like, "Do we have to?" And she was like, "Yes, you have to. You have a movie podcast." And I was like, "Fuck, you're right."
I think she wants to see Avatar.
Yeah, she does.
All right,
She really wants
we'll
to see
Avatar for the pod.
It got a big bad rap because it made so much money, and it's kind of just
I
a
can't
remake
wait
of
to
everything.
I can't wait
yeah,
to the
but it's
to
a
do
pretty
the
Pocahontas.
Batman podcast on this one.
Oh yeah, the Batman 2.
I can't wait to take a big diarrhea dump all over it.
I love that you're eyeballing her and she doesn't give a
Apologies.
shit sitting there on the couch.
Oh no.
My prediction,
She's
it'll be.
affected.
My prediction is it'll be
Afflected.
fine.
Affected.
Oh.
Affleck? Oh,
Afflected.
like Batman.
Yeah, that was
the
the
better
joke I
one,
made.
the one that I liked better than this one.
You definitely did not like Justice League better than.
Hunted.
You're just wrong. I'm sorry, you're just wrong.
I know for a
just
fact he
talking-
doesn't hate Justice League.
I'm not talking about Justice League. I'm just talking about Batfleck.
Oh,
Better
Batfleck better than Pattinson.
Batman. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Done
Oh.
dirty.
They're different flavors of the same guy, but we're not here to talk about the DC
Nope.
universe. We're talking about the Marvel universe.
Oh, look who's changing the tune now. I'm just kidding. Anyway, God, can you cut that? Can we cut that? We're not here to talk about the DC universe. We're here to talk about the Marvel universe. I want that on a
I'll get you the clip. I'll send it to you.
Cool.
But anyway,
Did you mark it? You usually mark these.
I did.
Mark it.
I just hit the M button on my keyboard. And
Mark
puts a
it
little-
0.
I got to reset your levels because you blew out your your line. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. All right, where?
I was just
Wanda. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you gonna make a point?
I was just talking about how it, like really there's like no point where it's like they try to cut the tension with like a really dumb joke. There's never a moment where Doctor Strange looks into the camera. It's like, well, that just happened. Like,
No,
it's
the jokes that are made usually like highlight or like pinpoint the tension because like Wanda shows up to Carmitage, everyone's there ready for battle, and Wong says, "You've got one shot. You better choose your words carefully, or we're all gonna die." And Strange is like, "Yeah,
he
no
comes back.
pressure."
And he's like, nailed it.
Yeah, and he comes back and he's just like nailed it as Wanda's like trying to attack.
Oh, that
the
was
place.
good. I like that.
Yeah,
No, but the tension was real.
the tension was so real.
Okay, so here's another thing: was that you all saw the horror in this movie.
Oh, yes.
I saw all the telltale signs of it amping up, and I'm not sure what your guys like Sam Raimi and / horror background is, but he was doing other things where it was like, oh, this is gonna lose its fucking head at one point.
Yep.
And I was like, so I am able to compile that with what I know of the character of Wanda Maximoff, and I'm like, you're about to see some shit.
I understand. And
And
she's
I was
terrifying.
like terrified of her this entire. I'm like, she's gonna you don't want to say that to her. And when this lady's about to like sacrifice herself later with Wong, first of all, awesome scene. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
how you go, girl? Like, you're gonna die so badly.
I can only imagine Dee in this scene just giving her a pat on the back, like, good luck.
I was like, no, I actually love that scene too. I loved that, and that's the closest I think this movie comes to like a. I don't know, like a scene, like an unnecessary or kind of like
Yeah,
over the top.
she
scene
didn't
or,
need
like,
to kill herself, but it clearly
because she's a random character that isn't quite random, but like does kind of come out of nowhere and does the
Yeah.
thing. But she has a very specific purpose that is like very well executed and very well set up. And like it's just that, and it's not really distracting like other things are. Like even the Infinity Endgame guys, the brothers,
Russo brothers?
Russo brothers. They couldn't get this, like where you're just like, you have a scene that does this thing, but like you're using the characters, but it is moving plot forward and a sacrifice and a thing, and it's just a character you introduced.
This one
but it makes sense, and it was cool, and like I felt that scene. I want to get to that scene, but
there's two movies that there's sort of two movies happening in this of like there's sort of Wanda's not really, she's the antagonist obviously, but she's also kind of like a side protagonist because she kind of goes on a journey in an arc and does a thing.
that's just a sign of a good villain.
I've read the comics, and I don't think anybody's written Wanda this well.
No,
absolutely not.
This is
Wanda's
bad.
always been treated as a B-list
They've
hero.
taken what I think everybody should do with comics, which is to take, and why I think comics are so adaptable to film, which is that they're like the best. They're like a blanket of cover songs, like the best cover like songs to cover, like as in like take a mediocre song and make it great. Take that thing that it had and amplify it. And you can do that with every comic if you just don't. If you find that balance of like adhering to the core of it and then just making it translate to real action. And this is the best Wanda story I ever read. I was like so ready for. I even anticipated. I was like, they're gonna do a thing. I was convinced I knew what the thing was with this. I thought this was that every other universe or whatever universe, the real Marvel universe. She said, "No more mutants." They already did House of M, and she eradicated mutants from the Marvel universe. And the Marvel universe that we have seen this entire time, the MCU. Has been the no more mutants house like there are no mutants, that's why we haven't had them. And then the real Marvel universe will break through, like we will suddenly realize like the way that like they changed the whole universe for like a couple months and they do House of M, which is if you guys don't know is a storyline.
We discussed it heavily on WandaVision.
So and that we've been in that this entire time, and that they are like, well, we tried to get rid of her, and she did this is how it ended. Like, you're the first mutant. Like that, I thought for sure, like America Chavez is the first mutant because she's parallel universe or something. I thought for sure they were gonna that's how they're gonna introduce it, but they didn't do that at all. And I thought
they were gonna introduce it by having Patrick Stewart do a random cameo in a movie and then immediately die afterwards. Oh wait, they did that.
But they used all of those cameos to oversell almost Wanda as like bet, and we're gonna get there. We're
gonna get there. Wanda attacks Carmitage, and she does a really fucking scary job of just ripping the place apart. She destroys so much architecture. She murders dozens and dozens of people, and she's just ripping through this place to try to find America, and then. Probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole fucking movie. She gets trapped in the mirror dimension for a half second.
That's cool.
She's stuck in the mirror dimension, not knowing exactly how to proceed. Yeah, we're there.
Pretty much.
We jumped there that quick to like get.
We're there.
Okay.
It's
she's like pulling these guys down through the water, like all their
so she escapes the mirror dimension. It's not entirely sure.
That's one of the first parts when I'm like, this is getting creepy.
As soon as she crawls out of the gong, I went, oh, it's a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah. The gong. No, that I was already like terrified when she started pulling down the water. I'm like, shit's about to pop off right now.
And they're like, cover the reflections, and I was like, there's no fucking way you're getting them all covered in time.
I was like, that gong gets the reflection, and like she's like covering the water. I'm like, nah, you're fucked.
There are so many moments in the Marvel universe that I think could be solved with just one person not relying on some strange supernatural powers and just having a Glock in their pocket. And this is one of them. Because after she crawls out of the gong, they have this whole like...
Brought to you by Glock in your pocket.
Yeah, that's my new subscription service.
The Pocket Glock.
Glock.
Brought to you by...
Glock it. I love it. But no, like...
Pop it, then Glock it.
She comes out of the gong, and she like reassembles herself like fucking Blair Witch style or some shit. And then she
No, she's the Scarlet Witch.
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She has this massive dialogue with Strange and Wong about like the multiverse. Now she wants to see her kids and all that. And it's just like, look, I know y'all used to be tight, but she just murdered a bunch of your friends and just destroyed like this most sacred place to you. Why not put one between her eyes real quick if you have it in your pocket? Just pull it out real quick. Just shoot her. She's clearly lost in thought. You've got a moment. Just fucking take it. And that didn't happen, and it could.
I don't know. They did try to shoot her a lot in WandaVision.
That's true. They did. And she does get hit with a bunch of other stuff, and it just kind of like bounces off of her as red mist or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure how superhero armor works in this universe, but, apparently it works to some capacity. But she does grab America after knocking out Wong and Strange, and she's sucking out America's power, and America blasts a hole through multiverses. And Strange does this dive bomb, get down Mr. President move, and just grabs America, and they blast through the star-shaped holes. And then there's this real trippy scene where they're going through all sorts of different multiverses.
They went through the What If universe, I think.
They did. There was the animated universe.
There was a couple ones that were pretty crazy. There's like a color.
I think if I watched it again and like slowed it down, I definitely could point out some Easter eggs.
Oh, I'm sure. Fucking.
There's no way
you'll hear about it all
Eric
week.
Voss will be breaking it. Every new rock stars, Nerdist, they'll be breaking it down. Like there are probably like right now since it's released, they're all releasing Friday.
They'll be like, did you know that Miles Morales is actually in Doctor Strange?
Yeah, right.
Well, okay, let's get going.
That could have been the Spider-Verse universe that they traveled through for a second there.
The Spurs.
No, I hate that. Don't ever say that again.
I'll allow it.
You're not the. I am.
I don't
God
know.
here.
If I allow it, then that's 2v1, so.
Anyway, so they're going through the multiverses, and then they end up on the same rooftop in New York City, but in a different universe. So it looks different, but it's like the same set, and that was a pretty cool visual. And then they're like, "All right, well, I guess we got to find this universe's other Strange because that he might be able to help us get back home, or at least fight Wanda or something." And they're walking around New York City. This is where we get the Bruce Campbell cameo.
Oh my gosh!
Pizza
Evil
Poppa.
hand. He has an evil hand. It's an Evil Dead reference. You don't get it. It's crazy. All you youngins, go watch Evil Dead 1,
She
2,
has
and
a-
Army of Darkness now.
She has this line where she says, "Make
I should rewatch Army of Darkness.
like rule number 1 of the multiverse is you don't know anything. Rule number 2, always find food." And then she like grabs some pizza balls, which I
Love
guarantee
it.
Binging
I
with
want it.
Babish is going to be making that on his YouTube channel soon.
Make him right now.
I'm sure.
Will
I want
Pizza
free
Poppa
I want Pizza balls.
Will Pizza Poppa make a
Free
return
pizza
in the
balls.
MCU? Will he be the next villain of this phase?
Villain? No,
Guy
he's not
Fieri.
a bad guy.
Guy Fieri, villain.
Fieri. But
I don't know how to say him.
it's okay. I've listened to him on Hot Ones and Fieri. Anyway, so she's like pizza balls, and then Papa Pizza comes by. It's fucking old man Bruce Campbell with his perfect.
Yeah, you got to pay for those.
Perfect $1 million smile and that can't open her chin just showing up out of nowhere. And she's like, "Oh, I guess food's not free in this universe." And they get into a little bit of a fight, and he just
I
puts
love.
a spell
First of all,
on.
I love that little shove. It's like free. Food is free in most universes. It's weird that you guys pay for it.
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
And you're like, hey-oh. Whole audience is like, hey-oh.
So is healthcare. Da-da-da-da-da-da. But then
Put it.
Now this is actually a hard politics podcast.
This is
I'm
one
glad
of
that
the-
you tuned in for Doctor Strange, but we're gonna get into it.
this is one
The
of my
basic lesson is that like awesome directors like Sam Raimi maybe know what they're talking about. So maybe
They do,
talking about
but
it.
this is one of my complaints of the movie is that I didn't
Okay.
particularly like the script in this scene. It was done well, and I love Bruce Campbell and Benedict Cumberbatch. I could watch them choose scenery together forever. But him saying like, "What are you, some kind of Doctor Strange? You stole that from the Doctor Strange Museum." It's a very heavy-handed exposition-y, and I was like,
but it's
eh.
Bruce Campbell. He's supposed to wear it. He's
Yeah,
supposed to,
If
I
it
know.
makes you feel any
he's
better,
supposed to lampshade the entire thing. It's great.
if it makes you feel any better,
Yeah.
I hated it until the moment I thought I figured out it was Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
I
of
mean,
Bruce.
yeah, I still love Bruce Campbell, and I was like, all right, this is fine. But I was like,
Here's
I get
Brucey.
it. I'm just saying I kind of get it, but
It's
I
over. Come on, man.
It's
He
over.
wins. He wins.
Yeah.
It's great.
that's
I love it.
that's the new meme that's gonna take Reddit.
oh yeah.
I'm calling it now.
So these
I
like,
have been using Bruce Campbell memes since I could make memes on my phone.
they head over and we learn
Last
America's backstory about how she grew up on this utopian multiverse planet where she had 2 moms and they were wonderful and everything was great until she accidentally opened a portal and sucked them out of it, and then herself behind them. And now she's been traveling the multiverse ever since, kind of raising herself. And they have this kind of heart-to-heart where Strange is just like, they're not dead, they're somewhere, you'll meet them again someday, probably in Doctor Strange 3.
I was worried that all of the American Chavez stuff would come up like a star, really. And then I was like, a weird alien world where they have like, I don't know, like numbers. And her name's America? I don't understand. And then like, I didn't care about any of it. She was engaging. She looked the age. And
Mhm.
she was really sweet. Like
They didn't do a Starship Troopers where it's all they're all
I
teenagers.
I think she did a better job than Haley
Haley Steinfeld, I think? Or
Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry.
now would be a good time to hit that.
Jerry Haley Seinfeld.
Terrible fucking drop I have.
I was looking for it. Yeah, you called it. If you didn't call it out, it would have sounded a little more natural.
Okay. So can't stand you. Just no. So yeah.
Steinfeld.
I thought she was great. I mean, she's obviously a MacGuffin in this movie, and she's the damsel in distress. But like, she had a story arc. I bought it. I don't know why. I feel like if I rehearse this movie in other contexts, I'm like, it's cookie cutter. It's this, it's that. I have every complaint.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can understand that. I don't know why I enjoyed this much. The entire vibe was good.
No,
Do you understand what
I'm
saying?
totally with you. No, like I said, the first 15 minutes of the movie, I had podcast brain where I'm like, all right, let me try to come up with some problems that I have with it because I think I'm gonna enjoy it, and trying to come up with some sort of thoughts on it. And like I said, once it hit, probably a little bit after the temple scene where she kills everybody.
Yeah.
That's and they go into the other universe. That's sort of when I was just like, all right, I'm in. I'm just kind of...
She attacks that shit better than Jean Grey ever attacked anything as the Phoenix. She looked badass. She came into fucking storm clouds.
This movie
wasn't even the climax.
This wasn't... I was like, yo!
This movie...
She just came in Thor doesn't roll in like that. This was... They sold it. They sold her as a villain.
They did a really, really good job.
This movie...
Thanos level, dude. She was Thanos level. I was like, she can...
Oh, I'm...
She gonna take your mouth away. And I knew that was happening. By the
I'm
way
totally
later.
convinced.
I love this.
I mean, I'm convinced that Wanda in this movie could probably just beat Thanos.
Oh, but here's the other thing. It's I'll give Disney props for this. They've been building, or I'll give Marvel props for this. They've been building and hinting and showing that. Oh shit! She gets her shit together. Fuck anybody that you've seen. And then they even do a whole all right, we got to keep going with the plot because I want to get to some of these other scenes.
Yeah, so they find Mordo at the Museum of Strange, and there's a big statue that says he died fighting Thanos. And Mordo is like, "Hey, brother, tell me all about your universe." And he's just like, "Okay, let's go have tea." And he does. And then
one complaint I do have, not really a big one. This is not even a complaint with this movie, but with another movie that doesn't exist.
Mr. Complaint, man.
But listen, we got Moon Knight.
I need hater music.
But
although I gotta say, I'll call out something bad. How about Disney relying on great actors to just talk to themselves?
But I'm sort of this mind where I'm just it seems kind of weird that he's like, yeah, he dedicated his entire life to trying to kill me, and I'm like, we don't have that movie though. That's never really happened.
I kind of love that though. They were just remember how that happened? Well, you remember how there was a bunch of other Marvel movies in between here and there? What the fuck do you think Doctor Strange was doing? We keep moving in time.
That's fair.
And I was
that's sort of what I wrote it off as. I don't.
That's fine. Here's the other thing: is this is what comics do?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the first time you're introduced to a Baron Mordo or whatever the fuck his name is, it's having all this history that you know nothing about.
You get the exposition dump.
It's not though. It's he used to kill it's just a scenario.
He once put puppies in a box and threw it down the river.
He could have just as easily said, I used to date him in college. It was a one-time thing. I was curious. I still kind of I have my tendencies, but I am what I am. But I'm not in it anymore. I really changed. This is gonna be awkward. And you stab the setup. It's just a setup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. And then you're kind of introduced in piecemeal to these characters, and you're like, oh, I saw an alternate version of that. I can't tell you how many times my introduction to a Marvel character was an alternate version of that character.
That's fair.
So they do a lot of world building that way, and it's we've seen What If. Now, you have all of these things. Awesome. I liked it.
Absolutely.
Fuck it. But my big complaint of this movie, though, if I could say overall, a little bit too much of the whole I'm gonna blast you over there. That was the only thing that took away from her terrifying nature was that.
Sure, it's the Terminator walking up, picking you up, and then throwing you across the room thing.
Yep.
I can understand that.
Really only thing that took me out of it. It's a big thing. It's big enough. It's it's just as bad as getting knocked out, which I'm pretty sure may have happened once too.
Happens to Wong. It definitely happens to Wong.
Yeah, but he was on the side of a cliff and presumed dead, so that's fine.
All right.
Yep. So they meet up with Mordo, and Mordo's he takes them captive because he's like, I'm just doing what you would do. LOL.
Oh, the T. I love that effect.
Yep. And then so Strange wakes up with no cape, and he's got these magic inhibiting handcuffs on him. And America's in a similarly built fishbowl cell they can't break out of. And then the lab coat people turn around. It's Christine from this universe, and she's just
it's
like,
a little
yep.
meta joke of like, I'm not going to be surprised by some nameless scientists. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, one of them has a name. And I was like, you're calling out the fact that, okay.
Yep.
Like,
you're
like
lampshading
Christine
it.
is...
You think the other guy was offended? He's just
I actually...
my name's Jim.
Somehow, I was actually more bothered by Christine's character in the first movie than I was in this one, which is, like, I feel like the opposite should be true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they actually did kind of, like, make me buy some of the character arc that's there. I was kind of confused, but, like, these are other pet peeves I had with the movie, but, like, if these are my clicks, like, if these are my kind of peeves, like, this is good nitpicking. Like, this, it was just like, yeah, it's not the best scene, but, like, she was what's the word? Fierce. She was
Yeah,
like,
Rachel McAdams did a great job.
some scenes were written poorly in terms of like what her purpose was of the scene, but like they did as to keep her in the movie and do the whole thing. I was bought her. She works as some kind of parallel to Wanda because she's another redhead in this movie that is like literally the same height and build as her.
She also sort of has
She could have had any color hair. I'm just saying.
She also has sort of a like an Evil Dead-esque moment of blowing the things away at the end.
Who?
The souls of the damned.
Yes, the souls of the damned.
Whoa! What?
Yeah, I missed the Rachel McAdams blowjob scene. Anyway, so she has a conversation with Strange.
I hope we call it that from now on. Remember the scene where she blows away the damned people, the souls of the damned? You know,
I once again will
the Rachel McAdams blowjob scene.
I once again will apologize for being too asexual for this podcast.
Troy's good for a random double entendre a la Arrested Development.
Absolutely.
And I never know.
Like a Tobias Funke.
I'm never aware of it.
Yeah, you're the guy who says balls and cum as regular words without snickering or giggling.
I like blowing out candles. I like my job.
So they
I didn't think anything of it.
They have a little conversation, and Strange is starting to be a little more introspective. Like, I've been kind of a dick my whole life. And then Mordo shows up, and he's like, hey, you're going to go in front of the Illuminati, and they're going to talk to you. And he's just like, the who? And I'm just like, all right. So
I didn't like that part.
I was like, what? You know who the fucking Illuminati? Like,
I don't think anybody calls themselves the Illuminati. You didn't need to name drop that one.
No, that was weird. But, like, they are called that in the comics. Like, I get it. It's just weird. Anyway, so we meet the Illuminati. Troy, who's in the Illuminati? Tell me all about him.
You got was this what's her name from WandaVision as Captain Marvel?
No, it was I forget which one's which.
Maria
There's
Rambo.
Maria Rambo.
Who's
Okay.
Monica Rambo from WandaVision's mother. She was in Captain Marvel.
Gotcha.
It took me a while too. I couldn't figure it out. But
It's the same actress doing the same role, just a different universe.
The implication being that she was the one that got hit by it, not
Awesome.
And not Brie, or Alison Brie.
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Not Alison Brie.
Not Alison Brie.
Different actress. Brie Larson.
But there's Captain Marvel. Who is her? There is Captain Carter.
Who is she?
There's Captain Carter.
Yes, that's Peggy getting the serum instead of Steve.
Yep, we saw in What If. Same costume and everything. I don't know if it's the same Peggy Carter.
Yep,
but
it's the same woman.
She looked awesome. I totally want to see it. I'm a little disappointed.
Too bad she got cut in half.
I love her.
She got Darth Mauled real bad.
That I like her Darth Mauling. I like her Ray parking. She got parked. You know, she got parked.
Yeah, she got parked
that
in
was
two separate
great.
places.
I bisect it, as we say. But I love a good bisection. They should have played that differently.
Bisection, is that a part of Blockbuster that I don't go to? The bisection.
Troy.
What about Troy?
He didn't get that one either. Okay, so
yeah.
So she looked amazing. I want to see the movie with her. Make the movie with her. She looks fucking better than ever.
She had that awesome fucking callback to Captain America in Avengers, where
I can do this all day.
I can do this all day. Fucking hey.
You can do that. You can do that same moment without having her survive to be the last one. I did it. She was. This is what I'm saying. She was knocked around a little too much after she fucking.
Well, she's a super soldier.
I know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It never mattered for Captain America 2. I make the same complaint for Captain America, which is maybe why they did this scene, to make sure that she has just as much plot armor as Captain fucking America. All right, so
Who knows?
I don't know why we need more,
Who knows? But we also met
Britain stuff?
King Black Bolt, whoever the fuck that is. Troy, tell me all about him.
Black Bolt's the leader of the Inhumans. They're a bunch of sort of X-Men-ish people, but they're from space, and they have like a big monarchy on the moon.
And he's the king.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Not anymore. But
Well, not in this universe.
they did. I don't know if it's the same guy, but they did do a terrible show on like ABC at one point.
I am also uncertain if this is the same guy.
I don't know if it's the
Very
same
well
Black
could
Bolt,
be.
but they
Doesn't matter. I don't think they ever gave him a comic authentic costume.
Yeah. And then that show was cast off into the dark realms and
oh my
the
gosh,
multiverse.
it ran for like a month and a half.
it was really bad. It was so fucking bad.
Do you know who's in it? Ramsey Bolton from he plays like what is supposed to be one of the better characters in this series, but like he was in it and he could also reprise a role. But
If you guys think that I like fucking suck Marvel's dick and because I like Moon Knight or whatever, do a fucking podcast on Inhumans. God damn it.
no, I haven't watched the second of it. That's one of the very few.
To answer questions, yes, it is the same guy who played Black
It is
Bolt.
the
oh,
same
that's
guy.
great.
Show.
That's total redemption. He looked great in the suit.
That's
Do it.
interesting.
Yep.
I do like this character. Is that your extent of this character?
The most I know about Black Bolt is the first time I ever saw Black Bolt was in the World War Hulk comic, and Hulk lands on the moon and they fight each other.
I don't want to hear you speak. I want to hear you scream.
That's a good line.
It's a great line. It's a great comic book. It's very just kind of
Black Bolt. Does he get his power from walls of ancient dragon text that he finds in the mountains?
What do you
Skyrim joke, guys.
do you have a lot of background on Black Bolt?
Do you?
that's sort of kind of all I know about him. I know
I feel like
I
you're
can
asking
fill
me
in
to.
blanks.
Then
but-
do it.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a great scene from him. It's one of my favorites by far. But yeah, that's his whole thing. So he has an antenna that you saw, and
It's like a tuning fork.
Usually, yeah, like a tuning fork as far and like usually he'll shoot like a bolt out of that. Right? He is the king. He's married to Medusa, who is just this woman of like long, living red hair, and it's actually
she's Sindel from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Okay.
She there's all these weird Inhumans that are on the moon. They're basically Kree related. They're related to the Kree. They set up a station on the moon, and he is their king.
And it is the worst area of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the video game.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but like general thing. But like what I do know of him is that like his true power is the fact that his voice will just shatter mountains. Like a whisper will shatter a mountain, which is what he does to Strange as they set it up.
Yeah, he's one of the more
Beautiful.
powerful characters in Marvel.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's generally used for exactly this purpose, which is another level of reasoning as to why I loved what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They use him as like usually someone to sell a character as withstanding, like with
World War Hulk, who was a big
World
one.
War Hulk. He's so raged up that he's like, because he is a member of the Illuminati, as Tony Stark creates the Illuminati in the comics, and basically tries to get someone from every area that is in no doubt going to be considered somehow like prejudice in the future to like even categorize different people in these ways. But like it's literally like mutants, so you're already hitting that band. Wakanda, so now you're like putting it on the nose.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark is like tech, like futurist tech. Reed Richards is like multi-dimensional, like different dimensions, space, like tech.
I know Strange is on the Illuminati.
Strange is mystic.
Magic. Mystics.
But like Professor X was also like mutants plus like the astral plan. Strange was also that astral like mystic realm.
A lot of overlap.
And then you had like Black Bolt, who was like there's these people like everybody from every like big area needs to know what's going on. you're a satellite, literally of the world. Like, we're all in this. We need to anticipate, like, are the Kree and Skrulls going to attack again? Like, are we going to get caught up in the war? We need to anticipate these things. The futurist Tony Stark is anticipating these and creates the Illuminati, who I don't think go by that name themselves. It's just called that as a comic. So to call themselves that, I always felt was weird in this movie. But are we at the scene where they bring him to them?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
So Black Bolt is here, right?
Black Bolt,
Black
Captain
Bolt,
Carter, Captain Rambo, Reed Richards, and Professor X.
They
and,
usually use him
Mordo
to just establish someone who can, like, withstand his scream, or like to be like, oh shit, here's the thing. Not to necessarily kill him, which is what happens, but in the best way possible. The most, the most iconic
which
death
we'll get
of
to
this fucking movie.
But
I love it.
Yeah, which we'll get to. But basically, Strange is standing trial with the Illuminati, and they're trying to decide what to do with him. Because in their universe, Strange was experimenting with the multiverse by doing something called dream walking, which is basically taking control of yourself in another
exposition
in another universe.
I followed it immediately. Did anybody have trouble with dream walking?
Not at all.
No,
cool. I understood it. Reed Richards explained it, and I was like, cool. And he didn't explain it like I'm a fucking child. He was just it felt fine. Felt really good. And also Reed Richards, John Krasinski, fucking love him. Ever since Jim in The Office, I will watch anything
the
he's
whole
in.
dream walking thing is actually a neat concept to explain the rules that end up playing out.
Exactly.
Him taking the dead body, him calling that back. It's really well
and Wanda
done.
taking over Wanda 838.
Like, it's really well, like, good magic rules. And I was like, that's awesome.
It's great magic rules.
And it's not that much exposition to get to it either. They're just kind of like,
And it's
here's
not
the
even-
rules, they're going to do it later.
It's not even a convoluted concept. It's just like, this is some dark magic in the Darkhold. People do it.
And
it's
with
real
a
bad.
character that has the
Gen
Book of
Zers.
Kazanti and the Eye of Agamotto and the Orb of Ball Sacks. That's like, I know
Orb of Ball
there's one that sounds like that. It's like the Orb of Ballsix or something. I don't know what it is actually called, but I've always called it the
Balasag.
Ball of, what was that?
I think it's Balasag.
Balisac? Yeah, I've always called it the Orb of Ball Sacks.
I agree with you. I think I said that in my head.
Anyway, the Illuminati explain that through reckless use of this universe's Darkhold, 838's Strange triggered and barely averted a universe-destroying incursion, and as punishment for that, he basically had to be killed by the Illuminati. And this is where we get that scene where after they finally defeat Thanos, Strange is just sitting there on his knees, and he's just like, okay, I'm ready.
Wait, did they introduce Reed Richards yet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I need to stop here because this is where I have
Reed
my-
Richards like 10 minutes ago. Where have you been?
I apologize. No, you said Black Bolt. You got me off. I don't know if you did Reed Richards.
yeah.
He is absolutely the last one they introduced.
No, Professor X is.
The second to last one they introduced. We got
That's
the
not what you
Black
said.
I will say this. The Professor X thing kind of got out ahead of time and people
His
knew
voice
about
is
it.
in the trailer.
They showed it, but I was confused because I was like, wait, I kept getting confused by Mordo. I was like,
Into the
there
mic,
he
pal.
is. And then I was like, oh, no, it's Mordo. And then I was like, oh, was it just Mordo? Is he not in this? And they showed him. I was like, you did it.
Well,
You
the thing
surprised
that
me.
got me was the small little hum of the X-Men theme song, and I was like,
Oh, that was...
Yeah, that was great. That was really good.
That was at the cartoon, right?
yeah, the 70s one.
It was...
Not what did I say? 70s,
What
90s.
the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I
love it.
apologize.
I love it. I love it. That's funny. It was... okay. Yeah, we knew he would be in it. But no, come on. This is the thing.
And he's got the little yellow guard cart.
I want people to please write in and please, I'm begging you, just lie to me if this isn't true. Tell me that you didn't see Reed Richards played by John Krasinski, and tell me that like
Yeah, D has
your
a whole
version
theory about this.
had Tom Cruise playing a different version of Iron Man, or yours had Michael B. Jordan playing like Johnny Storm,
But
or
before the
another Black
podcast-
Panther, or who else? Chris
You could
Evans
do-
playing Johnny Storm. Fuck, you could. All the scenes that they have
Ed
him in
Norton Hulk.
have AVR. I feel like they all have like overdubs to like they're just shooting them, and they could have put anybody in the death scene at the front forend, right, of that fight. They purposely put whoever is revealed by an invisible shield, like the smartest person in the world, and then they could have revealed anybody. They could have revealed Vision. They could have revealed any like. Please tell me you Clue 1985 this, where you showed every audience a different version. Because this scene and all of these cameos get total props from me for being total cameos. They mean nothing in the long run. Professor Patrick Stewart's probably not ever coming back as Professor X. John Krasinski might not ever do this again. He may be like that. It was fun. It was a joke. I'm done. I did it. I did it once. I'm not into doing the whole Marvel thing. He might do that.
Would you want to James McAvoy or a new guy?
If James McAvoy wants to do it, I'd be fine. But I think if he wants to do it, it belongs to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not upset if they go another way and he doesn't get a say. But if he wanted to do it, I'd kind of be like, yeah, dude. Like, why not give it to him? But either way, I say, yeah, if you can go with those things just to create a continuity.
I'd use him just to sling along Fassbender because I have a thing for Fassbender.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender's a good actor.
Yeah.
He does it for you, right?
He's the only thing that kept the Assassin's Creed movie afloat.
He greases
That's also true.
He greases that wheel, huh?
Yeah, I mean.
There's always a speech. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. They basically, and then they tell Strange the truth about how he had to be killed after he went and rogue and killed an entire universe.
Was Rogue in this?
No.
In my theater, she was.
Anyway.
No shit. Yo,
we should just spread the rumor that happened.
4chan is already on it. I was just about to say 4chan and HA is probably all over this. Like, yo, I saw Tom Cruise as Tony Stark.
Yeah, bullshit.
You guys didn't see Sentry? Sentry was in this movie, actually.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, Brad Pitt played Sentry, dude.
Brad Pitt.
Like,
That's actually a good
like
call.
old Brad Pitt. Like Legends of the Fall Brad Pitt. Why, you watch Legends of the Fall, dude? No.
Before the Illuminati can pass judgment on Strange, Wanda arrives and attacks the Illuminati by dreamwalking into her 838 self.
Which I understand what it means.
And so the four of them ran off to go stop her while X stayed behind with Strange and Mordo. And X was like, Strange, should you happen to escape this chamber, you must get America Chavez and get her to safety. You understand that is your mission,
must
right?
Save America.
Yeah. and Strange was like, yeah, I get that entirely. And X is like, good. Because X is fucking super smart and he's telekinetic. He knows Strange is going to get out of there. He's going to figure it out. And then Strange just wheels off to go fight Wanda.
When they show Professor X's power and it goes the whole
and he has the rings.
93 ring 93. I was like, Raimi, I fucking love you.
He did a great job.
Awesome.
Well, that's the thing is like, and Spider-Man was great. Like, I'm not gonna shit on it, but like, Spider-Man's a little bit more done for like. When they brought in the other actors, it was more like, here's this thing that all the fans want to see, and it was like very, very fan servicey. This had fan service, but it also was just like, this is a thing that's in here. The plot's going to keep moving forward. They're not even really that.
I felt
also,
that
nobody
way.
asked for 97 X-Men theme to be playing when Xavier shows up, but it was.
And I loved it.
Oh,
it was
man.
great.
I'm so happy with
73 X-Men.
Like because I'm
73.
glad that you're picking up on
because
the
I
same
said 70
thing,
by
but,
accident.
like, it kind of has this like, I am being surprised, like things I didn't know I wanted, but I did want, and like that's like my ultimate hallmark of any good product is like, I didn't know I wanted that, and you showed me that I wanted that. You gave me what I needed, not what I wanted.
But at the end of the day, they're still like, yeah, this is a movie about Wanda and Strange. Like,
and every character had room to breathe. No one felt forced in, even that woman who sacrificed her life to destroy the Darkhold.
Sarah, I learned 15 seconds before this podcast.
Is it with an H?
No. No H.
You sure?
That's what I saw, at least.
How could they?
Sarah.
There's a Sarah here on Wikipedia with an H.
Well, Sarah.
Well, we disagree.
I don't know if that's something you can...
Agree to disagree.
Is the only way to respond to that.
Anyway, so the Illuminati go to confront Wanda, who just looks like shit. She's covered in oil from the Ultron robots.
Fuck that.
She's been
She
fucking
just ripped up Ultron. I love the callback.
all the sentries in the building are like little Ultrons, and she's just ripping them all apart.
They made a point to name check the Ultron bots or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, right before she's like it just killed, and I'm just like, nah. And I'm on her side. I'm like, this is why she's so great. She's like Joker, dude. She's like the best villain I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been always the problem with Wanda is that I was always like, but she's good, right? This isn't her fault, right? Like this isn't her thing. And they kind of went there. I think they really did go there and say, no, she's really admitting this now. And it really adds weight to WandaVision to show a progression of understanding to culminate in a really heartbreaking scene that she sells with these kids who I think, if I'm correct, am thankful for the fact that they recorded this at the same time they recorded WandaVision.
Oh, because they didn't age or anything?
They were the same age.
I don't think they did.
They look the same age. There's no way that they...
Because WandaVision came out at the beginning of the pandemic. And this
was pushed back a ton, right?
I don't...
It was pushed back once at least.
So I think this is 100% like she is like they're the same age. They're very close. It's very close.
I also loved her very Carrie sort of look in this.
She looked so fucking badass.
I don't know why.
I was so terrified of her.
I don't know
what
why
she was about to do, but then she does these things, and I fucking love it. She walks in here, and I am totally ready to watch every. I realized at this point what was happening, that the entire Illuminati was only here to get dismembered in violent fashion by Wanda, and I'm like, oh my god, this is why I bought this ticket. I'm like, oh my fucking god, I'm ready for it. I was so ready for it, and I'm like holding little D. I'm like, all right, this is gonna get bad. And I knew it was coming. And then as soon as she said like one word from his mouth, like one utterance from his mouth, and I was like, there it is. Say goodbye to that shit. And I was like, she gonna Twilight Zone your ass. And you ever hear "Wish It to the Fields"? You ever see this one?
I did not.
You haven't seen "Wish It"? Have you
No,
seen Twilight?
I'm a youthful
Twilight
person.
Zone, the movie. Twilight Zone.
Oh, the
No.
movie, yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie. I don't remember a
They
whole lot of it.
They remake "Wish It to the Fields," where the kid has the ability to wish whatever. Which is
yeah.
literally
Mhm.
her power. It's why she's so terrifying. She's an episode of the Twilight Zone. She can literally just imagine a thing that she wants and make it happen.
Mhm.
She makes his mouth disappear.
Yeah, what mouth?
And then I thought that was great. I thought they were going to incapacitate him, and I was totally sold on this. And they had him fucking scream into his mouth and blow up his brain to the point where I was prepared to shield my son from anything that was a little bit too much for a 9-year-old. And I was like, oh, that happened. You good? Like, and I was like, he was like, shh.
So this movie wasn't even like beginning filming until 2020, which is when we already had WandaVision.
No,
we had WandaVision 21. But WandaVision was already in post-production by the time this was like being like started.
Oh, wait, are you right?
I'm looking at Wikipedia right now.
Can you defeat the internet with knowledge?
They didn't start filming until 2021, you're saying?
Filming began in November 2020 in London.
November 2020.
In London.
Which is when WandaVision was airing.
No, WandaVision aired early 2021, I think.
No way. Really?
Yeah, it was a winter show. It was early in the year. Because we watched Wanda and then Loki, and then the summer came in last year.
I thought it was...
Then we switched over to The Boys.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, there's no way they were filmed like back-to-back or even together. They were quite apart. They were close enough.
I hope they haven't been given like hormones of some sort to like de-age them.
I mean,
they
CGI is a
these.
hell of a thing, and it wasn't even that long. It was only like a year or two.
De-aging 7-year-olds or whatever the fuck they are is insane.
I don't know what. Anyway,
Oh, you got de-age
So
these 12-year-olds. They're getting real old. On us.
We have to
dark.
talk about Wanda annihilating the Illuminati.
Wanda
This is
allied-
much more important.
yeah, we have so much more to fucking go, and we're running out of time.
No, I think it's going to be breezy after this. Is all I wanted to get to because this is for me. This is the peak. This is peak.
This
Doctor
is
Strange.
pretty much awesome. She annihilates the entire Illuminati. She makes Black what's his name?
Black
Black
Bolt.
Bolt's mouth disappear, and he tries to speak, but it just stays in his head, and his head just fucking caves in.
And they set this up perfectly. They set it up by showing you him destroying him by saying, "I'm sorry," and whispering it, and it's showed.
And you're like, oh, he's very powerful. Clearly, he helped beat Thanos.
This is an exposition.
No one can hear you if you don't speak into your mic.
This is an exposition. This is showing to tell, like
storytelling.
I'm gonna show you a flashback, and I'm gonna use that to show that like he whispered.
Is that what's called storytelling and not story showing?
They don't say his whisper could kill you. They show you his voice. They insinuate that his I'd like you to see him. So the first joke is that for people who in the know, like you don't want him to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like
why has he got bad breath?
Yeah, great. And then they show you that like, oh, he just whispered to him and it like annihilated his skin.
It blew him apart into atoms.
It atomized him. So like any scream from this guy, you're like, oh shit. And that's what always is the threat of Black Bolt. But he undercut it and made it great that he just exploded himself.
He exploded himself, and then Reed Richards goes to like stretchy arm out at Wanda, and she stops him, and then his appendages, starting with like his hands and his feet, just turn to like fucking Play-Doh spaghetti, and it just keeps working its way up his entire body until he is nothing, and he just gets destroyed.
And then his head pops, which is kind of the brutal cherry on the TikTok.
They did Invincible episode 1.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was
fuck.
I was like, I realized what they were doing. I was like, fucking Raimi,
God damn it.
Still got it. I was like, you came up with John Krasinski and Patrick Stewart and just and Captain Carter and all this stuff and Maria Rambeau as a badass. Honestly, Captain Marvel, like, totally sold me on how powerful Captain Marvel's supposed to be, and that she overcame that with raw power.
So good. And then like Marvel does her thing, and she's got her like nuclear based power or whatever it is, and she's doing beams. And Captain Marvel is, Captain Carter. She's doing her. There's a lot of captains. Captain Carter's doing her thing, trying to snake around and whatever. And then eventually, like Marvel and Wanda
real quick. When they blew. This is, by the way, another thing that I'm saying is like anybody could have been put in that front shot, like where Reed Richards is, and they could have had a whole different scene shot for each of them. Like they could have clued this, like totally. And I just like, I obviously on hindsight is 2020, but I'm like, if they had done this, I'd have.
Do you want me to call up Feige right now?
I'd have gushed.
Do you want me to get? I have him on the horn.
I'd have gushed. If they reshot them and just did that after the fact, I wouldn't even be upset. Like, I wouldn't even be upset. They would have missed out on like an opportunity to sell that and make that hype like that was found out for real. But fucking A, here I am.
Yep.
But either way, they like his whole scene is amazing. But he unravels.
Yeah.
And that death is great. But like, I really, you could have had Captain Carter, who looked amazing. Love it. Want to see the movie. You could have had her die at the end, be the last one to die, and just done it a little bit differently so that she didn't seem like she was like slapped around by magic after dude just got unraveled and other dude got his head.
Yeah.
Like that was what took me out. That was the only thing that took me out of that whole fight scene.
Well, I found it interesting because all of them except for Captain Marvel got killed kind of by their own thing. So like Reed Richards got unraveled, Black Bolt blew his own head up, and then Captain Marvel gets bisected with her vibranium shield.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so all of them got killed with their own shit except Marvel, who just got crushed under a statue.
No, she did.
Under
a
statue of herself.
Power out.
Oh, is that what it was?
I feel like she did actually. That's a great pull, man. She did. She like started to suck. She was because I think and someone who's more into like the whole mythology here, or just the one that the MCU specifically has set up with the Infinity Stones, is that they're going to be pretty matched here with their Infinity Stone bases of powers, and that's the thing. She did the Agatha Harkness thing of like pulling her power away.
You do have a point. While they were locked in like that weird like blast battle, Wanda did a thing, and then Captain Marvel's like face mask disappeared.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she did like suck some power out.
She did suck something out and like do it. And you're right. That makes it so that she beat them all with their own shit.
Yeah.
And beat Xavier in the mind.
Vague.
Yeah, and then
the unraveling one is vague. Like he unraveled him, but like it felt like, and maybe this is the thing that makes it work, in the sense of she didn't kill, like she could only do something in relation to their powers. So like she couldn't just unravel her, although I don't see why not. But like maybe it's just her, but it works for my understanding of Wanda and her like it's her imagination or her like ability to think it and believe it or whatever, and like she can easily make someone's face disappear, but she can't like. But also what I want to note is that like they found a way to make the stretchy power non-existent. What did you think of how Reed Richards looked? We've seen 1,000 mock-ups of this. If you're me, you've seen 1,000 mock-ups of John Krasinski playing Reed Richards.
It was a very Reddit casting kind of situation, yeah.
The director dropped out of whoever we're supposed to do Fantastic Four, and John Krasinski's a director.
You saying direct his own Fantastic Four movie?
I mean, that's what Ben Affleck wanted to do since DC signed him, was he going to direct his own Batman movie.
I honestly don't care if they do that or not, or if he walks away from this and is just like, no, I was just doing the fan.
Well, I was actually going to ask. I was actually going to ask because there is a Fantastic Four movie still happening, I assume.
Yeah.
Is it Disney?
Is it going to be? Yeah. Is it going to be Krasinski in that?
He and his wife as. Which everybody was just like, this is the literally 21st century equivalent to casting Patrick Stewart as it's the perfect
who also kind of got killed with his own power.
Yep.
In like a mind palace fight.
Yep. Yeah, he totally died in the mind. He totally died in the mindscape. 100%. You called that out perfectly. 100%. They whatever they did with Captain Marvel, they were trying to sell that same idea. She absolutely killed them all with reversals of their power, which was awesome. Like, so awesome. Different ways each time. I love that she gets Ray parked. She looked amazing as Captain.
Oh, yeah. I was, when we were watching What If, I was like.
Better than she's ever looked, I feel like.
When we were watching her and What If, I was like, I wonder how this will translate.
Right.
Like, it might look a little goofy. And I was just like, oh, no, it looks better than in What If.
No, I'd kind of rather watch her. I feel like if she made moves that Chris Evans was making, they would look cooler because she'd be smaller. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she would look more intense that she hit that way or moved that way. Like, he was too bulky. Like, I was totally in. I was like, make a Captain.
Also, I just did a quick Google search. So the guy who was directing Fantastic Four for Disney was John Watts, who did No Way Home.
Okay.
That's why he kept showing the Baxter building, which they name dropped in this, that she worked for.
The Baxter Corporation.
Yeah, so that was very interesting.
Oh, and they insinuated the kids that John that they had, which is the Ford Foundation or whatever.
Right. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
All right, at this point we have to speed up.
Yeah, a little bit. She beats the Illuminati, and then Xavier tries to stop her by going into her mind to try to get the real Wanda out. Doesn't work. Wanda is in there.
I was convinced this was the real Wanda, and it was just going to be like she just pulls him in.
I thought that's what it would be too, but then you see the red smoke, and then Wanda 616 comes behind him and just snaps his neck, and Xavier just slumps over dead in his chair. And then America uses her power to like punch her way out of the
dies a lot.
glass.
He also dies a lot, Xavier.
Yeah.
This is the first movie Patrick Stewart started to look a little old.
Yeah, he started to actually look his age in this movie.
Listen, Pat, it's cool.
I mean, he also looks his age in Picard on whatever it is, Paramount Plus or whatever. Patrick Stewart?
900.
Patrick Stewart is awfully old.
He's still immortal. Okay.
Patrick Stewart is... Wait for it. He was born in 1940. Which makes him 81. 81.
Yeah, definitely 80s. Okay.
81,
yeah,
dude. Holy shit.
Effing amazing.
For 81, oh my god, yeah.
The yellow fucking 1993.
The yellow
the
chair.
go-kart.
Fucking A, man.
The go-kart, yeah. My fiance next to me, Red, she was just like, why is that man in a go-kart? And I was like, oh, that's right. You don't know Marvel. That's I literally like laughed and face-palmed. And I was like, that's Professor X. He's in a wheelchair.
Why is he riding on a robot Pikachu?
Why is he in a Zamboni?
Pikachu Zamboni.
Pikachu Zamboni.
Pikaboni.
So they're fleeing from Wanda now at this point. America manages to escape
in the scene that is the most like a Sam Raimi horror movie.
Yeah.
Where she's like limping and covered in blood.
Well, because she was walking barefoot across shattered polycarbonate
Something
glass
about
now.
the barefoot and casual wear made her more terrifying to me.
Absolutely it did.
I loved it so much.
But they find out that the Illuminati has the Book of Ashanti underground. There's like a keyway thing that Strange had made, and so Strange is reunited with his cape, and then they've got America and Christine. They're running down to go get it, and they're being chased by this slow-moving fucking Wanda Maximoff, covered in everyone else's blood, covered in the oil of the Ultron robots. She's now limping, and she's just fucking going for it, and I'm terrified.
I'm
this
terrified,
point.
and it shouldn't work, right? None of it should work.
And
You're
Red,
like, you're too close. You're too close. This doesn't make sense. You're following it.
It made so much sense, though.
Just he was threading the needle of like Marvel and horror and this, and I was like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
I if you felt that this wasn't,
I was concerned you took your son to see this movie because I was like,
I
holy
was
shit.
too. They blew Black Bolt's head off, and I was like, I was like, oh, you good? That's fucked up.
What was this movie rated?
I don't care. Kids who see this shit is my man. And I'm glad Disney agrees with me.
Doctor Strange.
You turn to your son in that moment, and you're like, son, death is a
He
natural
enjoyed
part
it.
of
I
life,
said,
and
did you
sometimes you blow off your head with a sonic boom.
Okay, it's a PG-13. It's not the worst.
He's been watching Stranger Things since he was 6.
I assume
Oh,
he
yeah.
was PG-13, but
I don't think he beat anything on Stranger Things.
no. So they're going through the underground in that horror scene. Eventually, Strange like collapses the roof and the river floods in, and they're like, "Did you kill her?" And he's like, "No, but I did buy us some time."
He was like, "Yeah."
Are you kidding me? Have you? No.
Did you see what she just did?
Have you been watching this movie?
Oh god! One of my favorite scenes when she's killing the Ultron robots is it's just like smoke in like the room, and then the Ultron robots are just like storming into the smoke, and then one of their heads just like comes bouncing out, leaking oil.
Oh, that's when
she walks past it and just vaporizes it.
That's when they name checked Ultron
Yeah,
robots,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then she was like, "Oh, they're Ultron robots. Oh, that makes it worse." Like, "Oh, your brother, he was killed by Ultron." Like, this is where I get that like that doesn't sell as well unless you're like constantly reminded or just know that like this version of Wanda was distinctly fucked up by Ultron.
Yeah.
Like, and she is like, no. Like I was
God,
like,
watching any Marvel movie back.
It made me more terrified of her because I'm like, oh, it's even worse.
Watching any Marvel movie back now, like them meeting her in like Age of Ultron or something like that. It's gonna be just a moment of just like just kill her now. Actually kill her now.
It enriches everything.
I actually like her like a lot. Like she's really charming and everything. Kill her now.
It's like the paradox of like, should I go back in time and kill Hitler?
It's like if we don't do it, then
You
maybe
can
Thanos
do
will
it.
win. That's fine.
You can do it where the character wants and like where the character realizes the error of their ways but doesn't earn redemption.
Uh-huh.
And like you can just be like, okay,
I think they did that in this movie.
They're not a full villain, but you can't be on their side.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
As soon as she blows up Kamatage, I'm like, she can't go back.
That when they look at their future children and the people that do love them, that they should realize that they shouldn't sacrifice what America is.
Anyway, so they're
order-
escaping from Wanda and they're running through the tunnels.
America just needs to believe in herself.
They find the door, and the door
Herself.
opens with Strange's broken watch that was a gift from Christine. And he puts it in the middle, and then the door just spins open, and then boom. And then there's that shot from the trailer where they're just like in a doorway that's floating through space. And Christine gives the exposition that this is the space between universes.
This is where we started the movie. We started the movie with the other Strange.
Yeah, and then there's the book, and Strange hops down, America's there, and Christine joins them, and they...
Another sort of speedy scene where they're like I was expecting them go down and then do a big another monster fight and then grab the book, and they're just like, nah, they
you
get the
say
book.
that.
You know what the
No,
scene
instead
is.
they didn't go for a new set piece. They were like, let's just contain the story
Yep.
and return to the beginning and have a natural ending.
Yep.
Except it wasn't as
like
fast as-
stories.
My complaint with this scene was that like you guys know you're running from Wanda.
There's
She's
a little
not
bit of that.
stopped for long. Hurry the fuck up.
There is a little bit of that.
You're taking a long time just staring at this thing with it on its plinth and not actually picking it up.
I agree with you. I don't know why I forgave all these things. I legitimately
Because it was
don't.
so awesome.
Because it was well done.
It was
I
well
don't
done.
know.
It was well shot.
I don't know.
And for a second, you kind of forget
It's all
about
just
Wanda,
bias.
maybe, but like, nah, she's still there, guys. But she does eventually get the book, and then Wanda shows up. She's got America now, and fucking Christine is just.
By the way, all
useless.
dreamwalking, I get all of it.
Yeah, dreamwalking makes total sense.
There's
Absolutely.
some Inception level shit going on. Like, technically she's there, and he's technically there, and like they're here. I'm following it. It's pretty fucking breezy. For what it is, that's fucking breezy. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
don't have
at
to
the
think
at
hard.
the end of the day, when you think about it, the way this movie goes is the main villain of this story is sitting in a room meditating the whole movie.
right,
After throwing Wong off a cliff.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But it's
okay.
taken by some badass looking demons. The design on those little guys, those big dudes.
Even though they're very useless.
The little tiny baby guys.
That's fine. That's fine.
But they look cool.
It was a nice design.
Yeah.
It did-
So Wanda shows up and starts fucking shit up. She's got America, and she runs and she forces America to make multidimensional portals, and she forces Strange and Christine.
What
through
do they
one.
force America to do? Make more entry points to your air. Just kidding.
And then she forces America to make one more portal back to where she actually is in 616. She like pushes her through and then cuts the dream walking. And then Wanda wakes up from her own body and is like, "My boys," and then flies away. Because of course she does. What else are you gonna do? You could just leave her there, just confused in this space between universes, or you could just have her leave.
Wait,
But,
she flies away at this point?
Yeah, she Wanda 838 like wakes up, and then she's like, "My boys," and then she just like flies through.
Do you
the
think
doorway.
that she walked through that whole
right.
room and was just like,
No,
"Oh
you're right.
God, what
No,
happened?"
I actually
here?
did like this. I like how they did the whole setup of the dream walking, because they're dream walking and she's just setting up to be like, she couldn't hold on to it. She was too taken aback. Like I thought they were going to set up more of a time limit that she was on.
Yeah.
To
I
do
mean,
this.
even if it was, she wasn't in control of for very long.
And it felt like they were doing that, but they totally disregarded any like holding on to that for a time limit, that they were running against a clock or something. But like I thought, it felt like a little bit like there was some editing and changing that. Like at one point they were gonna go with that idea that like she only had a certain amount of time in the dream walk.
Sure,
and that's
sure,
how they
sure.
beat her.
But no,
yeah.
they don't do anything like that. And then instead, so now America is with the real Scarlet Witch at this temple in the mountain where it is the throne of the Scarlet Witch with all of the ancient terrible spells carved on the walls that the Darkhold is transcribed
So
from.
at this point in the story, America has been taken over by the Great Evil.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
The Great Red Menace
Congress.
of the Chinese Communism Party.
I went with something else. But
And so this is the part of the movie where I got taken out a little bit and where I have my biggest complaint.
Okay.
Because she's got America. The bad guy should win very handily right now. Instead,
But
we have...
sometimes they're orange and incompetent.
Speaking of orange and
Wanda's not
incompetent-
orange. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're going for here.
Oh, that wasn't a
No,
signature
Chester
color?
Cheetah
My
can't
bad.
manage his Cheetos empire. That's what we're talking about.
He is. I mean, he is in.
Who
This
puts
movie.
a cheetah in charge of a chips
That's
company?
true.
Come on.
It's true. He's
Tell that
hunting
to
fucking
Ohio.
gazelles.
Anyway, so what they do is Strange is with Christine, and they're in another universe that's just fallen apart, and it's completely just it's one of the ones that I guess was incurred, and he's like, "All right, gotta find Strange."
Well,
Whatever.
this is very. I don't know if this is supposed to be the what if.
It is.
Strange, but it's yeah.
I
it's
believe
that.
it is because this is Supreme Strange that they meet, and they're walking.
He's wearing a
through.
Supreme T-shirt.
Yeah, they get to the temple, and it's just like in pieces, and they're just like, "All right, Strange, hi," and he's just like, "Sup?" And he's got the Darkhold like on his fucking belt.
I got the impression this was like, and I think they sold this idea to anybody who was watching, but I don't think anybody would get it otherwise. But I don't think you needed to. I think they were not. This is not the Strange we saw in What If.
Yeah.
This is a similar Strange. This is like someone who kind of did this thing.
So I'm very. You have a point. They have different names technically. So in this credits movie thing, he is Sinister Strange. Oh wait, you're right. It's Sinister Strange versus Supreme Strange. Different guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, I
thought it was the same guy.
I do think he's a different guy. He's just supposed to show the thing, and I love how this fucking ends with the third eye. That was great. I fucking.
What I was thinking of was the one that they killed, the Illuminati killed, was called Supreme Strange, and the one from What If is called Strange Supreme. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if they were supposed to be the same guy.
It is a ridiculous distinction to make, but he's out of line, but he's not wrong.
It's the multiverse of madness. We get it.
It is. It's maddening. But yeah, so Strange has a fight with Strange.
Is a crazy scientist.
Because Strange 616 is like, hey, can I borrow that Darkhold for a minute and try to like get home?
Goes,
and then
no.
Sinister Strange is like, I don't think so, and opens a fucking third eye in his forehead.
Listen, kids. If someone asked to borrow your Darkhold,
don't let him. Don't let him borrow your Darkhold. But then, so Sinister Strange has this showdown with Strange 616, and it is one of my favorite fight scenes in all of Marvel now, because like Strange gets hit and he hits the piano, and then the music sheets are falling around him, and he has the idea to make the notes attack.
I'm excited.
Strange.
I'm excited to watch this again in theaters and bring my music teacher girlfriend.
Oh yeah, she'll probably love it. But then like, so it's just like the two musics are like fighting, because like Sinister Strange sends back like heavy bars of just like bass and drums, and then Strange.
But like, oh shit, Strange got bars. They call me the ball breaker.
Ball breaker.
In the club.
And they're fighting with music notes, and the music in the background is swelling and hitting at just the right points. And then there's this one part where
the fight was written by Danny Elfman.
The fight was composed by Danny Elfman. It was written by fucking Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright.
Moby.
Mm-hmm. Moby?
Dick?
No, Moby is a jazz pianist.
The answer
didn't know.
The answer you were looking for was Noby.
Mm.
It wasn't Moby.
I'm sorry.
Sobe, Life Water.
Go
anyway,
on.
They have this fight. Eventually, Strange 616 like hits Sinister out the window, and he falls and impales himself in the fence.
That was hard. It
was
felt hard.
fucking brutal.
I was like, oh right, Sam Raimi knows how to edit shit.
And then Christine goes over to him, and then his third eye just opens and stares at her, and I'm just like, so like, is he dead or like what?
I didn't care. That was a Sam Raimi as a too. It's just like, that won't play out.
Yeah.
He's just dead.
So he's got the Darkhold, and he's like, all right, I think I can dreamwalk into 616 and try to save America from Scarlet Witch. And she's just like, but the Darkhold, you're just like the other Stranges. And he's like, yeah, we're all pretty much the same guy, except I've learned something, I guess, from my mistakes.
I liked this progression. I bought it. I didn't feel like he was... they sold it. Again, I'm so worried that I'm like I have some kind of rose-colored glasses on, because I just like felt like they did what I say so many things could have done. I see so many movies where I'm like,
well, they do like a thing where it's like
maybe not done it as hard as you did, or not as long as you did, or maybe you could have just bought into it, or not lampshaded it, or done something else, and like it would have worked. And that's how I feel this happened. I'm like,
they do a thing early on where, like with Defender Strange trying to sacrifice America Chavez, there's like a thing where it's like, oh, but he's like the good Strange, and then towards this scene, they're like, you're just like all the other Stranges, and he's just like, I know, like
right.
he's like I'm not better than them.
So I don't know what the story's getting at, and then he's saying that like, no, I think the difference is the thing to stop all of this is to not do that, and they do teeter on this. They teeter on it well, the way like a tension should build in a story.
Yeah,
and, like,
it does a really good job.
It was very clear as to like what are the stakes? Where will this end on a personal journey for Strange? Let alone this multiverse of madness and shit. So it's like, no, it works on numerous levels, and it's embedded within all the aspects of the text.
There's a real possibility that he was just like the bad guy at the end of this movie.
Yeah,
non-zero chance.
In a version of the script, I imagine
and
that might have been
unclear. Like if his actions actually had real repercussions, which is like, Raimi, yeah.
So
still got it.
he ends up going and taking over Defender Strange's corpse from Earth 616.
So fucking great.
It's really also
What a
very,
great
very
moment.
cool.
Very, very cool and very, very gruesome. And my fiance turned to me and she was like, "This movie is fucked." And I was like, "Hell yeah, it is, but it's awesome."
I thought for sure he was gonna crack his fingers as he was like the corpse version of himself, and he couldn't do the magic things.
No, but he was like very like jerky movements and like fucking misplaced fingers and shit because he's clearly a corpse trying to
And
animate.
he's inceptioning / being John Malkovich-ing all of this.
Yep. And then he tells Christine, "I need you to stay vigilant in case they come for me because I'm trespassing." And she's like, "What?" And he's like,
And
"The
then
souls of the
Vigilante
damned."
from
Peacemaker
comes
shows
in,
up?
and it's awesome. The whole montage, and then they cut
What?
back right to this scene. Where were you?
Yeah, that happened in my theater.
Did I just fall asleep in the middle of the movie?
You didn't see the Vigilante DC crossover scene?
No, I feel like that would have gotten more
and
coverage.
then, yeah, he had a whole conversation. He's like, one day we're going to do a Captain Marvel versus Superman fight in this.
We've been going for an hour 40. I need to make this podcast shorter than the actual movie,
Fair. That's
please.
fair.
So,
We got to beat Raimi.
yeah, please. They basically Defender Strange ends up harnessing the souls of the damned to like be his cape, and he flies to save America Chavez and Wong. He saves Wong too because why not? And that's where Wong has like
Wong Nut.
the last joke of the movie, which is just like, "I'm not even gonna ask," and he's just
That's
like,
great.
eh.
It's really well sold again.
Yep, because don't ask because it's clearly dark magic and you don't want to know.
You know, those jokes work way better when they're sparsed out by like 2 hours.
Yes. And then, so Defender Strange goes against Wanda, doesn't actually manage to beat her. She's very clearly winning this fight, but Wong has her held for a minute with the souls of the damned just, like, keeping her in this little ball of energy. And that's when he has this moment with America, and he was like, "We have to do something." And she was like, "You're going to sacrifice me, right? I know. It's okay." And he was like, "No, you need to believe in yourself because you have the power. You know how to use it, and you need to fight her. You need to kick this witch's ass." Is literally what he says.
Did you hear that, Biden?
Yeah. I want like
He does listen to this podcast. I know that.
I wish
person.
I was videoing
hear
this
that,
podcast
Joey?
so I could do a counter of how many times I've rolled my fucking eyes at this man. But
I'm sorry.
anyway,
I'm sorry you hate this, but I can't not see.
I'm sorry you hate America, Jeff.
I loved America Chavez. She's a great
Yo,
character.
listen, I say the Pledge of Allegiance every day. I just don't say the God under the one part.
Yeah. Yep. Mhm.
I only say the Pledge of Allegiance so some kids hear me not say specifically that part. Every day.
You're such a dick about it. Oh my god. You're wonderful.
You
anyway,
should pick a different God every day.
Also, I say
under Allah
I say justice for y'all.
and justice for y'all.
I also make a point.
Jesus Christ. Anywho,
Yes,
so
They have nothing to do with it.
America gets up, she's punching Wanda, she's doing okay, and then Wanda like suddenly remembers, oh wait, powers, and then takes
well, there is like a little bit of it where it's like, yeah, she can't like just disintegrate her because she does need the powers. So it's like it's the only person that Wanda can't go like all out on in this movie.
Right. But then eventually she's like, I can't beat you, so I'll just give you what I want. And she opens a portal to 838 in the middle of Wanda's home while Wanda's like choking her out on her knees on the ground. And then Wanda's like, my boys. And the boys are like, get away from us, you fucking
They're
monster.
like, Mom, a witch.
Yeah, Mom, look, it's a witch. Please save us. And they're like so scared. They're like throwing their toys at her, and she's just so livid. She's like, I don't understand why you like, I'm your mom, please love me. And they're just like, no, that's our mom over there. You're some creepy fucking lady who just came through a hole in the universe.
Are you saying that the people that want to kill America are distancing themselves from their own children?
Maybe bad parents, you know.
They don't realize the monster that they're turning themselves into?
Mm-hmm, and maybe
She's
like
the monster?
maybe like there's sort of something that could be done to sort of prevent them from becoming parents in
Anyway,
the first
so then
place.
at this
He muted me.
point, America looks back to Defender Strange, who's like half disintegrated at this point, and he's just like, no, not yet. Let this play out.
We're CGI of the movie.
It looks pretty fucking rough, but it's fine. He's half of a corpse. And then Wanda like realizes that she's been terrible, and then other Wanda like caresses her cheek to let her know like, I'm so sorry. You must be in a lot of pain, but like you can't have my
And
kids.
we've passed the Bechdel test.
And then
Does it count if it's played by the same actress?
jeez, maybe. But then Wanda like retreats back into 616, and she's just like, "All right, I know what I have to do." And she sits on the throne, and then everybody like leaves. America takes Wong, and they leave, and they're just like, "We're gonna find you, Strange." And he's just like, "All right, cool, bet. Let me get rid of this corpse real quick."
That's funny because I find him strange too.
Yeah.
I said.
And then Wanda takes the entire throne temple thing of the Scarlet Witch and crashes it down on itself with her inside, presumably dead. And when doing so, she actually destroys...
Presumably presumed dead.
Yeah, she destroys the Darkhold in every single universe. So now no universe has that fucking book anymore. And presumably, the Book of Ashanti, the like ultimate good book, only existed in the space between universes. And when she destroyed it, when they found it, I assume that's gone forever too. Like those books are never coming back. They were invented as like
find out in Blade the movie.
Fucking don't do this to me. And then America becomes a student back at the temple, which is getting rebuilt, and she makes some sparks happen with her new sling ring.
Strange bows to Wong.
Strange bows to Wong.
I didn't know I needed it, but I wanted it.
It happened,
they
and
were
I was
telling
like,
me the whole movie that it was happening, but I didn't even call it. I'm like, awesome.
It was great. And then America grabs Stephen Strange on his way out, and she's just like, "Hey, I'm glad I ended up in your universe." And he's just like, "Yeah, me too, kid." Oh, and before that, Wong has a moment where he's like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Why would you ask that?" "Oh, because I dream walked into my own corpse and also used
another great life because you dream walked into your own corpse and used it for things.
And you used the Darkhold for an extended amount of time.
I laughed out at that. You dream walked in your own corpse, and like.
Yep.
That's true.
That's
true.
It's like, oh yeah, right. Totally.
You use the Book of the Dead to dream walk into your own corpse. Oh right.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Right.
That was just Tuesday, man. But no, and then that comes back because Strange is going about his life. He's dressed like a normal, fashionable New York man. He's walking down the street, and then he just collapses to the ground in the middle of the street, and he's just in so much pain. He's
a New Yorkie, and he's fucked from the jump.
He's screaming at the sky
Somebody
when his
"We're
third
walking."
eye opens in his forehead, and it's just like, oh shit.
Total Sam Raimi ending, just total Evil Dead ending, totally ridiculous.
Kind of body horror-y,
I
but
was
not
totally,
over the top.
You could have done no extra trailers, and I'd have been fine.
Instead, we get the ending scene where Steven is walking along the street, like differently dressed, still a fashionable New York man. He's got
and
a nice
Charles Theron shows up.
Charlize Theron shows up in this like purple and silver outfit. She's Clea. I mispronounced. I misread, actually.
She has a hotline. You can tell your future.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
No, but Clea's actually
Clea
pretty cool.
shows up. She's just like, you caused...
Oh, I forgot how young you guys were.
You caused a universe thingy that we have to fix, and she makes this weapon in her hand like a blade and just like cuts reality open.
I love how
fucking
fucking nonchalant New Yorkers are at this point. They're like, this purple lady.
That was apparently Dormammu's.
Yeah, that's Dormammu's dimension because she's Dormammu's niece.
Yes, she's apparently not apparently. I know this. She's Dormammu's niece.
Is
and
she a nice niece?
Yes.
So
in the comics, she ends up marrying Strange.
know this stuff. Huh. Interesting.
I did a bit of reading before the podcast.
You're taking my thunder.
Who taught you how to read? Who taught you about reading?
Just some jackass. You wouldn't know him. Please,
I was
Troy, tell me
I
about
was
this
excited
chick.
to be like, hey,
I
this is a
didn't
character
mean
that I know. No, it's fine. No, it's
tell me about her.
I don't care. I don't care.
Shut the fuck up and tell me.
No, but I mean, you pretty much nailed the gist of it. Of just she's related to Dormammu. She kind of starts off as a bad guy and then sort of becomes a good guy, and then ends up marrying Strange later. But sort of has all the same powers as him, except she can also punch and go through dimensions, sort of similar to Chavez.
Oh, interesting. Dimensions, not universes?
I think it's dimensions because she goes into the dark dimension. I don't think that she can do multiverse stuff like Chavez.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she'll be doing that. I remember just from the brief reading I did on the Marvel Wiki, she also succeeds Doctor Strange as Sorcerer Supreme. And
I was super into Clea.
In the 90s, she was a Taco Supreme.
She's also one of the characters created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. I know that there's not actually as many of those as we think there are.
I was always a big fan of this character as a kid because she was in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, And there's a whole portion of that where the home base becomes the sanctum for a while.
Oh,
and
nice.
she was one of the characters that was in it. And I was just
She
like, I'm in.
She reminds me of one of those Mortal Kombat characters, like lame female characters.
She's kind of got those
She's
vibes
got
a little
purple,
bit.
like the purple one.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Melina.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but yeah, so she's basically a female version of
I
Doctor
knew she had
Strange.
Trump vibes. Melania? Did you say Melania?
Melina.
Whatever. All right, so then we get a second after credits with Bruce Campbell, Evil Hand, and then said, it finally stops hitting him after
It's
3
over.
weeks. Which, by the way, when he said he'll probably stop in 3 weeks, I'm like, yo, that's enough for you to get fucked in this movie. Like, for your movie to have a bad ending. Like, you just said you're going to let this guy hit himself for 3 weeks.
And he's hitting himself kind of hard.
For you not paying for his food that he's selling. Anyway.
Yeah.
But she says it's over. Staring directly at the camera. And I loved it.
And it's got to be the next meme. It's got to be the next meme.
Everything Bruce Campbell does is a meme.
Absolutely. So that wraps up all of Doctor Strange. It was I'm surprised actually because I was looking at a lot of the ratings on the internet. It's got like a 3.9 on Google. IMDb gave it a 7.5. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 78. IGN gave it 7 out of 10.
I weirdly, as much as I enjoyed every moment of this, I weirdly don't trust my reaction right now, and I need to see it again.
Yeah, I feel that way about any new movie I see. I always think it's like when I first saw Force Awakens years and years ago, I was like, wow, this was amazing. Star Wars is back. And then I saw it a second time in theaters, and I was like, that was awesome. Saw it a third time, and I was like, this is just New Hope. And then I saw it a fourth time, and I was like, man, JJ, what did you do? And I still think of it fondly, and I still think it's a good movie. It's certainly better than 9, but like,
You still fondle it in your dreams.
of course I do. All the time, especially the
Is it
Han
'cause
Solo
Oscar
death-
That's what
Isaac?
thinking of it fondly means, right?
Oscar Isaac and Finn when they have that hug, and Finn's just like, your jacket, and he's like, no, you keep it.
If you
and I was like,
haven't-
fucking kiss, you two.
If you hadn't noticed it, folks, this is the end of the show.
This is the very end of the show, absolutely. We're all done here.
Who would you like to thank?
This is going on for far too
It's
long.
over. It's finally over.
It's
Is
like
it really over?
Yeah, it's over.
Can I take my son out of the locked room?
No.
No, your son's mine now. Thank you all for listening. If you've made it this far, go see Doctor Strange 2. Although if you're listening to this,
Tell us what
you
we got
definitely
See it again.
Tell
Yeah.
us what we got wrong.
Yeah, tell me what I got wrong.
I would
tell
love
me why
to.
you hated it.
I would actually love to hear emails about why you weren't that into it.
Tell us why you hate Troy.
Or YouTube comments because we're on YouTube.
Tell me every gripe about me. All of it. Go crazy.
So that was it. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
I'm not even gonna ask.